What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day in the life. So, I want to talk to you guys about the power of investment because a lot of us are really scared to actually put in what we know that we need. When I first started digital marketing and becoming a content creator, I initially did not want to invest because I was like, I felt like I could do it all by myself. I felt like I did not need help. I didn't need anybody to teach me how to do this. And I was like, you know what? I'm not about to do that. I'm about to get this. And so in the very beginning, I found myself running around in circles because I didn't want to make the investment. But I had to look at why was it that I did not want to make the investment, right? Like, what was causing me to not want to make the investment? For starters, I had a poverty mindset. A poverty mindset is going to tell you to hold on to every little dollar and not invest. Because who has time to be investing whenever your mind is in poverty? Whenever you feel like you're not going to be able to get anything? When you feel like you have to pinch all the pennies that you get? That's a mindset of poverty. Instead of telling ourselves that we shouldn't spend something, we should instead try to find ways to make the money that we spend make more money for us. And how can you do that? By investing. Prime example, myself personally, I invested in Digital Boss Academy and UBC, the Ultimate Branding course. Why did I do that? Because I knew that I needed information, and I knew that just searching on the internet wasn't going to give it to me. And I wanted a direct path of what I wanted to do. If I was willing to actually pay to go to school in the past, or regardless of whether I didn't, if I was willing to do that, then I should be willing to invest in myself for something that I know will help me in the future. Right? So, like I said, a lot of us have issues with investing because we have the mindset of poverty. But if I know how to make money, then I know how to make more money. So therefore, it shouldn't scare me to actually put money into something that's going to help me make more money. But we tend to get that thought process of, I don't believe that this is real. I don't think that I'm going to be able to actually do it, and your mindset is full of lack. But if you really want to get somewhere, you still have to invest in yourself, even if that's time. Investments do not always have to be money. But you do have to make time. If you're not going to be able to spend the money, make time to learn the information that you need to learn. I ended up purchasing these courses because I didn't have the time to learn this information. Instead, I had to have everything already there. And I was willing to pay for the information. Now, in the very beginning, like I said, I wasn't, because I had the mindset of lack and poverty. But when I realized that I was going around in circles, still having the same old outcome, and I wasn't getting nowhere, then I realized that, okay, you spend that little investment and then you're going to get so much more out of it, because you're going to learn a new skill. You're going to be able to do the things that you weren't able to do, and no more struggling. You don't have to struggle and spend weeks and weeks and weeks trying to figure out how to do something, because oftentimes that's what we do. We lean on our own understanding, which is a very good thing, but whenever you're stuck, it's time to reach out and see if there's something else that you can do, such as make an investment. And an investment can go a very long ways. Not only did I make a major investment in myself in purchasing Digital Boss Academy and UBC, but I also did that because I knew that the investment that I made was going to be nothing compared to the information that I was going to receive. I needed someone to already have this stuff put together, and I didn't have to go do it all on my own. This was perfect for me. I didn't have to go piece things together. But if you have time to piece it together, then you do it in time. You invest in time. It doesn't have to just be money. But you do have to make a commitment to yourself that you're actually going to do the investing. Don't just say that you want it and then don't go after it. Don't just say that, I'm having a hard time, but I know that there's something that can help me, but I'm too cheap to actually get the thing that I know is going to help me. Because that's lack. That's a mindset of lack. Right? So making an investment within yourself is very important. And you want to make sure that you're making an investment that is actually worthwhile, that's actually going to give you something back later, going to teach you something, is going to show up in your life. Whatever it's going to do, it's going to do it for you, because it's an investment for you. You invest your time every single day whenever you go to these 9-to-5 jobs and go do their job for them, or go work in the job that they have you working in. You invest time into making sure that that job is the perfect job for you until it can't be the perfect job for you anymore. So if you can invest time in somebody else's dream, why can't you invest time in your own, or invest in your own dreams? That's what I had to ask myself whenever I was sitting there going back and forth over whether or not I wanted to make this investment. And after going around and round and round in circles, I got tired. And I said, I'm over the piecing it together. I need it already together. I just need a full package of whatever it is, so that way I can learn it and keep on going. And I'm so glad that I made my investment. My investments. I'm so glad. An investment does not have to be large. People get that mixed up. They think that you have to spend a lot of money to invest in something. You can spend $5 and invest in your education by a simple ebook or something of that sort. But it does not have to cost a lot of money. And like I said, it doesn't have to cost money at all. You can invest time. You can invest emotions, right? But you do have to get it in your mind and tell yourself that you're going to actually invest in yourself and not in everybody else like you've been doing. If you really, really want to get somewhere, how are you going to get there if you're not willing to invest time or money within yourself? Because if you're not willing to invest the money, then you have to be willing to invest the time to get to where you want to be. Otherwise, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. But I think the biggest thing is people take it as a bad thing, or they think that they have to do a whole lot, or they don't have enough to invest. There are a lot of ways that you can invest, but you do have to try. You have to start somewhere. I started with UBC and DBA because it was actually the foundation. And then on top of it, my investment pays me back forward, because not only do I get to learn the skill of digital marketing, but I also get to teach others the skill of digital marketing. And if they want to learn the skill of digital marketing, then I have a product that I can help them with, and they can actually learn the skill of digital marketing. That initially started from me making an investment. If I didn't make the investment, I wouldn't have the ability to be able to help somebody else the way that I wanted to. I used to think it was crazy when people would say, that's $2,000 for a webinar or a seminar or something of that sort. I'm like, who got $2,000 to go to a webinar or seminar just to hear you talk? You do. If you want that knowledge. Because what I have to realize is that once I leave here, once I leave that place or that webinar or that seminar that has all that knowledge, I'm going to leave with that knowledge. And because I spent my money, I'm going to work in it, or I'm going to sit on it. And most times out of 10, you're going to work in it, because you're going to say, I spent this money, I'm about to make this work, and I'm about to do this thing. Right? So if you really, really want to get somewhere, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. Even if that is time. Even if that's just efforts. Do what you can to get to where you want to be. Because ultimately, it's you who makes the decision of how your life is about to turn out. Right? No, you don't want to pay that $2,000 for that seminar that has all this information that you need. But guess what? What would you be missing if you didn't go? What could you have learned if you went? Could you be a billionaire by now if you would have actually attended that seminar for $2,000? Because you're looking at the money, But don't look at the money. Look at the material. Look at what you get. Look at the benefits that you receive from being in this, from investing in yourself, from taking a bet on yourself, for actually trying. That's what you need to look at whenever you make an investment. Because that's what an investment is. An investment is you taking a bet on yourself. Taking a bet that something that you know is going to work. You feel like it's going to work within you. And then you just do it. But if you want to get somewhere, you must invest. If that's money or time, it doesn't matter. You must do one or the other in order to get somewhere. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.